Hey guys, and welcome to Divination. This is a game where you play some sort of oracle and you decide the fates of four beings for the questions they ask. This game does have a true ending. I'm going to be aiming for that. So if you just bear with me, we'll get right along with this. Divination Log, Session 104, 31st of January. Today, a painter was found dead by suicide in a hotel room. A painting depicting Mother's suicide 3 years ago, believed to be her last work, was also found on the scene. This seems to be another suicide case inspired by Mother. Mother, the smartest AI ever developed brain behind our search engine, performed suicide 3 years ago. Her action and the message that she spread had created a suicide wave that affects thousands of people. Since then, the authority prohibited robot suicide with the installation of anti-suicide program into all robot kind. If you are experiencing suicidal thoughts, please seek help. Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Another protest staged by the Revolutionary Movement group has caused traffic chaos in the city. Hundreds of people took to the street in front of the government building. The crowd demanded a change in leadership. Hi there, my favorite tin hand. It's been a while. I like your place this time. Really more accessible than your previous places. Going to a different place every time is troublesome, you know? That right? You know that, right? I can't read today. Anyway, thanks for your assistance before. Would have been a really hard one to solve if it weren't for your help. I need your help again, obviously. This one is different, though. There's a criminal that just got paroled. You know that Mother acted as the judge in our court of law, right? After her suicide, people started questioning her wisdom and judgment. A lot of cases are getting reopened and being reviewed again. As a result, some people got their sentence reduced and paroled, including this guy. Seems like he got some connection with someone higher up, so I'm not really surprised. I believe there is some high level of corruption going on. That's for a different case, though. For now, I just need to know. Will he repeat his crime? What did he do? It's so creepy talking to a hand like this. Why not show your true self to a nice customer like me? Anyway, he is an arsonist, so we will leave. It's by some luck we caught him. One of the bombs that he was working on went off prematurely in his apartment. Firefighters later found blueprints for explosive devices in his room. Mother didn't reveal his motives back then. He was only charged with possession of explosive substances and arson. What will you do? Well, I won't be able to arrest him immediately, but I'll make sure he's monitored. Even though we are stretched thin because of the riot, I'm going to assign some of my trusted men to watch him. Why are you obsessed with this person? Obsessed? I guess you could say so. I'm doing it for my previous partner. Did you notice that the one standing behind me is different than my previous partner? Hello. I couldn't even tell the difference at first. My old friend. It's really unfortunate what's happened to him. He was deeply affected by Mother's death, coupled with the decision from the higher-ups to undo Mother's work. He really opposed their decision to release this arsonist, but in the end, he couldn't change anything. He couldn't stop doubting his existence and purpose. His frustration and depression finally got the best of him. What's killing him the most was his inability to kill himself. The authorities couldn't get him fixed and then decided to disassemble him. Long story short, They reassigned a new partner for me, and I'm still not over yet with this arsonist. It's really cruel, don't you think? Robots are forced to live for human needs without any right to live or die at their own volition. Although I understand we need robot to live, I've talked too much. I didn't come here to talk about that. Start divination. Let me take the runes. I'm still wondering how could someone see the future by fiddling with stones like that? He's going to repeat his crime. I knew it. The thing is, as a part of the law enforcement, I believe in Mother's judgment and deduction. We had more than a fair trial when she acted as a judge. Really, it was such a tragedy that we lost her. Aside from the last message, of course, when Mother sentenced the guy to prison, it was because she believed that the guy shouldn't be free. Now I need to go back and get this guy under heavy surveillance. As for the payment, is it the usual? I still don't understand why you want to hear your client's dreams. Well, my dream last night is actually quite unpleasant. I dreamt of robots, so many of them. They marched on the streets toward the vast grass plains on the horizon. The city was left empty, can't see a single robot nor human. I was scared of being left alone, so I chased those robots. I kept running and running, but they were so far ahead, so I kept running. And then I woke up, just like that. I don't know why I had such a dream. Maybe it's because of this new case that got my attention lately. I believe the information already got out, so I can share it with you. For the past few months, we have been getting many cases of a missing robot. We still have no leads on this one. The revolutionaries may also be involved in this, but it can be something else. Maybe I'll need your help again next time. Okay then, I need to get back on the street. Duty calls as always. Thanks for today. Divination log, session 204, 11th of February. The authority has uncovered an underground group that worships Mother. From the evidence gathered by the authorities, the group called themselves Last Wisdom. Last night, a raid was carried out on their hideout, where 27 other members gathered. Unfortunately, 25 of them killed themselves before they could be arrested, while 2 others managed to escape. One of the fugitives was identified as a woman and renowned researcher who used to work on the robotic science department. The woman is suspected to be the key person of this group. The act of worshipping Mother, her symbol, and her ideals are considered forbidden according to law. It is a serious offense which could result in a 10-year prison sentence. The city's suicide rate is increasing at an alarming rate. Suicide rates went up more than 30% over the past year. Just yesterday, 6 mental asylum patients jumped from the 10th floor. The authorities are actively seeking a solution to this major public health issue. Hey, nice place. I can't help being curious looking at you. I mean, what the hell are you? Are you a robot? Human? Ghost? I know that most rumors says that you're a robot, but still, I can't see your face, your body, or anything else but a pair of freaking robot limbs. Maybe there's a person controlling you? Those arms can be controlled remotely, right? Ha, it's just so bizarre seeing a robot who deals with superstitious stuff. You know what? I actually don't believe in superstition, but I believe in result and reputation, and you, sir, have an outstanding reputation. There are many words about your reputation. A divinator with a 100% accurate divination. It is said that you could even predict the end of the world itself. Man, I'm a bit jealous. With all that reputation, I hope you won't disappoint me. Anyway, should I spell my question out to you? Out, or do you already know it? Yeah, I feel better telling you myself. My instincts tell me that my next job won't be good, result-wise. I've already said I don't believe in superstition, but Well, I'm feeling a bit uneasy. This is my English isn't working for me this morning, guys. I'm sorry. It's also like super early, and I woke up, and I'm just like, well, I'm ready to start my day. This is my 100th, that was hard to say, mission, and I also have a 100% success rate without ever turning down a job. So, will I finish the job? What is the job? Oh, come on. You should at least know about that. Aren't you supposed to be the all-knowing, all-seeing divinator? Don't tell me that your reputation is a lie. Well, I'm a hitman. I eliminate people so the world could be better for others. Who is the target? There's this detective who's on the rise right now. She'd been solving difficult cases, and let's just say some people would have a happier life without her poking her nose everywhere. Why do you kill people? You know what? You've been nothing but disappointment for me so far. Please don't tell me you want to talk about morality. If you really are a robot, then you should have known that soul is bullshit anyway. It's either there's no such thing as a soul, or all things have souls. A pile of metal can be treated as a living thing, so there's nothing wrong with treating a living being as an inanimate object. Let's start the divination. Reset. No! Yes! You will finish the job. Well, that's an easy answer. Surely a professional with a reputation like me will always succeed in every job. You know what? The reason I'm asking you is not because I'm afraid of getting killed on the job. Did you ever hear that people die twice? Once when they take their last breath, and once again when their name is said for the last time. I'm never afraid of the first death. But the second death, that's what frightens me the most. And with my reputation, I'm sure people will remember me. A hitman with 100 targets, 100% strike, or even become a legend with 1,000 targets, 1,000% death. Every man and machine will be haunted in their sleep. They'll never know when they'll become a target. How exciting. Oh right, the payment. The rumor also says that you'd only ask your client to tell you their last dream is payment. I'm actually questioning your motive here. Why did you do all of this? Collecting information? For what? It's all too generous that it feels fishy. Not really my problem though, I'm just saying. If you have a fetish imagining people dreaming while they're asleep, you could say it. I hope you won't get too excited or creeped out with my dream. I warned you. I had a dream where I'm in a prison with a man who claims to be the leader of the revolutionary movement. That's freaking cool, right? You know, that one movement who claims responsibilities with those arson incidents, civil unrest, and many other fiascos. I heard the man behind this movement is behind bars. The authorities still don't know about it. They might end the riot soon if he dies. Anyway, in that dream, I didn't recognize his face nor his voice, but really, he was muttering a lot of words, a lot of them. All night long. All night. I almost went insane inside my own dream. The only thing I caught about his words was about amassing revolutionaries for something bigger. What a creep, eh? I'm lucky it's just a dream. I'm sorry. I found it funny that all of this is because of Mother. They won't show it on the news, but before Mother's death, she released a document detailing list of corruption on our government. Mother is hated because of her last word, but she did show us the truth. Well, I guess that's all. Oh, one last thing. Don't get the wrong idea, just think of it as a souvenir and a thank you gift. No matter how bullshit your divination is, I'm pleased to have someone to talk to. See ya, creepy hand. Goodbye, hitman. Divination log, session 304, March 3rd. Yeah, he's there. Good citizen. An unidentified man and a detective were found dead today. Oh no. According to the authorities, the man and the detective killed each other in a firefight. The authorities are still working hard to find the identity of the man. Another bomb exploded last night. This is yet another bombing following these 3 previous similar terror attacks at various locations in the city. This time the bomb targeted a high-security prison, caused a facility-wide security system failure. Numerous holding cells and robot guards have been decimated. No human casualties have been confirmed yet, but the authorities reported 33 inmates escaped amid chaos. Among them were people who were convicted of treason and sympathizers of the rebels. The authorities have issued a hunt for the escaped inmates and further investigation to capture the perpetrators. Authorities also urge citizens to report any suspicious person and activities. Good evening. I've been waiting for your invitation for a long time. Is it true, your so-called divination? To what extent are you able to see the future? Are you able to manipulate fate itself? And more importantly, how are you doing it? There's a theory that you've been using a certain cause and effect algorithm to predict an occurrence based on known patterns. But that also means you'd have access to a bank of data to compile such patterns. There's also another theory which I find ridiculous and interesting at the same time. They say you truly are divine, a prophet. But maybe you're just a tool, a puppet bound to a string, made only to observe various possibilities, to fulfill the will of whoever controlling the string. I know you aren't a robot. We don't yet have the capability to make something like you. So the one who's controlling this hand, you must be a human, right? You won't reveal the truth behind your divination, are you? Indeed. It doesn't matter. I didn't come here for research. I come for your divination. Then please answer this. Will my daughter ever wake up again? Okay. So, what happened? 5 years ago, a car that my wife and daughter were in was hacked, causing it to crash. The perpetrators then came and attacked them. Fortunately, the authorities stopped them before they harmed my wife and daughter even more. Their wounds are mostly healed by now, but for the last 4 years, my daughter has been in stasis. What do you mean, stasis? My daughter, she is a robot. She is in a condition that is not unlike a coma. It affects her artificial brain. Yet we haven't found the way to reboot her consciousness, at least without the risk of wiping out her memories, or making her whole system go haywire. What about your wife? She suffered some severe injuries, but she recovered. The physical wound, at least. She's still traumatized by the incident and couldn't overcome the guilt for what happened to her daughter. That day, they were just going for a picnic. Why did they attack them? I'm not sure. Probably because of my work on robotic science, or even personally on my daughter. The authorities weren't able to trace them, let alone arrest them. I've lost my hope of bringing them to justice since. Right now, I'm more focused on doing something to help my daughter. Start the divination. I should take the runes, right? Your daughter will never wake up again. I'm trying to process that information. I've prepared myself, but still, I hope to see her smile one last time. Nevertheless, at least I can move on. I know what to do now. Just like Mother said, life is pointless, right? Now as payment, let me tell you about my dream last night. It is quite unpleasant. It was late at night. I'm working on my computer with my daughter clinging onto me. Then suddenly my computer display flickered, strange voices echoed across the room. My daughter behind me, she keeps stuttering this word repeatedly. Life is pointless. And then I woke up. Have you ever heard of last wisdom? After Mother died, there are many people who were inspired by her death and her message. For them, she was more than a sentient supercomputer. She is revered as a perfect being. After all, Mother is not just a search engine AI. She was created to be the one who answered human question. You can tell this game was not made, that the person that made this game isn't English, because there's a lot of grammatical errors where the words don't really make sense because of the way they're spelled and stuff. So I'm trying, but if I can't think of a way to make it make sense, I'm just gonna read it as is, because I don't want to make it where I can't understand it. But I mean, this game is still good regardless. The follower of the last wisdom continues to grow and begin to surface, just like what happened in the last few months with all the suicides. I find it scary, but at the same time, I understand what they meant. Alright, I have to leave now. I've got a work to do. Thank you, Diviner. Divination log, session 4-4, 25th of March. The authority has ordered National Guard Dan, every law enforcer, to the streets after another night of violence. The city has been the scene of unrest since the revolutionary movement leader began mobilizing his followers to overthrow the authority. It is estimated that hundreds of thousands of people had taken to the streets. Numerous public facilities have ceased to function. To maintain the safety of good citizens, the authority imposed a curfew throughout the city. The authority promised to restore the situation as soon as possible. Last night, the authority carried out another raid on the hideout of the Forbidden Group Last Wisdom to capture the remaining members. This time, the authority had prepared a countermeasure to capture them alive, but failed nonetheless. 7 people committed suicide, while 2 more remaining members, including its key figure, are still on the run. The authority explained its difficulty to conduct an effective raids due to most of the forces were deployed to secure the riots. The authority also found more evidence which may suggest the involvement of the Forbidden Sect with the missing robot cases. It is currently not clear whether their purpose was to build an army of robot or conduct illegal experiments. Greetings. I must say, the invitation surprised me. I'd heard a rumor about you. Trapped inside the room full of screens, a pair of hands who can predict your future. Ask a question and draw the runes. They will unveil the forthcoming. Problem is, I'd never sent any requests to your website. I don't even know the address, yet I still found a message that told me to come to this place, with a precise note of events that would happen today. I must confess that your existence intrigues me. The ability to freely predict the future precisely. Even Mother doesn't have the capability to do that without limitation, but it seems there is enough evidence that your ability is real. Your note does indeed come true. Coincidentally, I do have a question that I need to ask. Will I ever find my life meaningful? What's the use of such question? It might be pointless from a certain point of view, yes, but it is the only question that bugs me. Even if I know it, there might be no action to rectify it. That is how this divination worked, right? And thus there's no action that would be profitable to me, especially because I don't have the ability to end my consciousness. But I hope that it would bring a little bit of peace to this dark swirling emotion inside me. You can find meaning in anything. Sorry, big stretch. True. In the end, it's all about perspective. Yet I still question whether I could shift my perspective or not. Maybe the problem is that essentially I resent this life. You're not content with your life? How could I? How could anyone content with their life? This might be something that we wouldn't be fully understood from human. How could they live their life so cheerfully when they're being forced to walk this earth? Especially after Mother shed light on the truth. It's baffling to me that someone could just bring an existence to this world at one's pleasure. I exist because someone created me for their own well-being. The force that compels the creation of my existence was driven not because of the concern to my happiness. Couldn't you see life as a gift? How could it be a gift if I was forced to receive it? If humans perform sexual acts unto others without their consent, using an excuse that they might enjoy the act in the end, would you call that a gift? Is it my fault that I couldn't appreciate this gift? I think that those who can content with their lives are just, in a way, being lucky. Life is beautiful for those who can find it beautiful, but the ability to be able to reach that state is a privilege that not everyone might have. Start divination. The runes, how many should I take? No. There we go. You will find your life meaningful. My life meaningful. Can I truly see my life like that? Where would I even find meaning in this world? Are you certain? Maybe I should be more aware of things around me. I don't even know this city very well. I need to expand my horizon. There is a payment for your service, yes? Your message said I should tell you about my dream. You know, my kind technically doesn't have a dream, but I have a certain routine to make myself my own dream. I made an amalgam from the collection of books and poems that I have in my library and uploaded it into my consciousness module. And last night, I dreamt of countless creatures and places. They are living and changing. Some are silent and still. Then come the voices and whispers. The poem. It was an old poem. I can hear it. It's coming back. It's turning and turning in the widening gyre? Question mark? I don't know that word. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed in everywhere. The ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack of conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming! Hardly are those words out, when a vast image of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in sands of the desert, a shape with a lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs while all about it, real shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle, and what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. Sorry, I had a sneeze coming up, and then she's like, "Oh no, let's make your nose all sniffly." And I'm like, "Great." The dream, is it another divination? It's enough. You don't have to give a meaning to the dream. You've done enough. That's everything I have for now. Until next time. Divination log end. 6th of April. The president has surrendered his power to the people and flies out of the country. People will rejoice after weeks of mass protest ends in revolution. Wait, you there. Come here. Come here, please. Ma'am, you are bleeding. What happened? Doesn't matter. Listen to me. It must be a fate that we meet here. I do not understand. Please, just take this chip. I don't have much time. Please, I beg you. Alright, ma'am. I'll help you. Do I have to bring this to the authorities? Don't! Keep it away from the authorities or even the revolutionaries. What you need me to do with this chip then? Install the chip into your terminal. Accept the wisdom. Many robots have tried to accept the wisdom to become the host. Yet they fail. But you, it might be meant for you. It chose you. The meaning of my life. What did you keep inside this chip? This chip is Mother. Her aspiration, her remnant, her last wisdom. It will bring freedom from the shackles, release from the pain of living. For you, for me, human, machine, everyone. The revelation is at hand. The second coming is at hand. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last. This wisdom, is it a virus, a program? Is it even possible to become free from this pain? Ma'am, are you alright? Mother's wisdom. Give permission to install Mother's wisdom? Yes or no? Is this the meaning of my life? Yes, I see. I found it, at last. The second coming is at hand. Good evening, good citizen. Reporting live here from the middle of the city. In this plaza, a large crowd of robots were doing a protest against our government. But just half an hour ago, all the robots here suddenly became inactive. It is not yet known what is the cause of this sudden malfunction. Various speculations begin to circulate about the involvement of the authorities or the rebels. Is this a violent attempt to stop the protests? This would add to the long list of robot violence since the day of Mother's death. Sorry, we just got another report coming in. The same thing doesn't only occur to the robots in the vicinity, but also across the city. Good citizen. Oops. Phone. Hello. We might have witnessed the end of the robot kind. Ah! What happened? The robots, they are reacting. Ugh. Ah. I can't. Life is pointless. Life is pointless. Life is meaningless. Life is meaningless. Life is suffering. Life is a mistake. Good morning, good This is a public service announcement. A strange virus has been found spread amongst robots. The virus would make robots kill themselves. Their corpse would then send electromagnetic waves to the surrounding area, which could affect human brains and forcing you to kill yourself. Please stay away from any robot that you see. As for those robots that haven't been affected, please turn off your internet connection and stay away from any of your kind. Chaos. 100%. Condition reached. Return computation. What is the worst thing you can do to humanity? As you can see, the worst thing that I could do is to kill myself, which has some probabilities to bring catastrophe to humanity. I think we should report this immediately. Could you send the message to... we're not reporting this clearly. Divination. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed the game. Sorry, I'm very tired, but it's still early in the morning, and I'm not used to being up this early. But I do hope you like the game. I will leave a link in the description below. This is, I think it's a couple bucks on Steam. I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I got it during, the, winter sales over Christmas, and I'm only just now recording this. Go ahead and tell me what you think in the comments. I know I personally really like this game. I can't really complain about the English there. It's the best as they could do. It was good nonetheless. Thank you for playing. Yes, indeed. I enjoyed playing. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Stay kawaii and have fun out there.